Just Harden with that step back, how difficult is that to defend? And I mean, how much do you think he toes the line a little bit there between a legal move and a trap?
You know, he's a great player, hard to guard. Travel is called differently, you know, in some games. So we got to be ready for everything.
How can you keep a tight space on that when he does just have that?
Yeah, it's his body position, you know, and you know, a guy like that, you have to try to make him work for his points. He's going to be capable of big nights. He made shots. You know, some other guys didn't make shots. You know, they're a great team, and it's a lot more than just James Harden. You know, you know, with Chris and the way they shoot threes, and Gordon, and you know, if they get Anderson back tonight, and you know, the way Capela played, you know, they're a tough team, and that's what, you know, that makes them who they are, and they play both sides of the ball. But you know, Harden has been, you know, the thing is, he's hard to guard because of, you know, his ability to shoot the ball, his strength and his power, his shiftiness, his ability to put it on the floor. You know, and he sells what he does. You know, he's grabbing and holding a lot. But, you know, that's what he does. I was around him. He's a great player. Great player.
Some of those other parts of his game maybe underrated. His strength and his ability to understand what he can and can't do out there.
Yeah, no, he's smart, very smart, very smart. You know, just the way he studies the game, and you know, I just mentioned what he does, like, offensively in terms of the scoring, but his passing is, he creates easy offense. You know, he's unselfish. You know, that's, you know, he and Chris are, you know, what they do off the dribble, you know, makes it hard.
What did you learn about James from being around Team USA that you might not have known otherwise?
High character. You know, like you get to know those guys different, you know, and you see like the way he worked on his game, and just the way, you know, in that setting it's so different too, because everyone's in a different role. You know, you got a lot of great players, and you know, every guy is sacrificing for the team, because you know, those guys are all used to playing 36, 38 minutes and having, you know, the ball the majority of the time. Then they get into that setting and they're all, you know, playing about half the game, but they play hard. And the interesting thing is, you know, like when you put a bunch of great players together like that, you know, there's great benefit to it, because I think they all learn from each other too. You know, what they do after practice, what they do in film sessions, you know, and it's a really interesting dynamic, because you're also, you know, not only are they adapting to new and different roles, but also, you know, it's a different game. You know, so how quickly can you adapt to all of that? And, you know, it's interesting, because in international, you know, the travel's called a lot differently. So you're thinking, okay, we're going to be called for a lot of travels, and then, you know, Coach K did a great job. We had, you know, FIBA officials in our practices, and our players that, like, they're so smart too. They adapt. You know, in transition, you know, the ball's thrown ahead, they just knock it to the floor, so you can't call it travel. And then they go from there, and it tells you a lot about him. It's, you know, it's really, he was great to be around. It's, you know, I'm not surprised, you know, at the success that he's had, and he continues to get better. That's a credit to him.
Coach, Wiggins has had some very good games against Houston this year. Can you talk about what he can do on both sides of the ball tonight?
Yeah, he's so gifted, like, as a scorer, and I thought he got off to a great start. You know, the foul trouble, I thought it hurt him. You know, but you know, you're not going to get calls on the road, so. But I thought he was very aggressive. I think he's improved a lot defensively, and I think he'll continue to grow. He can score a lot of different ways. You know, he's great running the floor. He can put it on the floor. His shooting has improved. So, but he's so athletic. You know, he's hard to guard.
When he's rebounding the ball, it seems like that's when you can tell he's in.
Yeah, activity, and I like with him when he rebounds, just busting out with it. And when he attacks the rim in transition, you know, it's impossible to guard. You know, and even, you know, like when he's running the floor, Jeff throws ahead to him. That's you know, it's going to be a score or foul every, you know, 90% of the time.
Tom, what have you seen out of Belly since he went back to the bench? The shooting numbers have been down. Is he pressing a little bit to try and get back?
But that's, you know, he just provides space, and that's what he has to do. You know, play hard on every play. You know, there's a physicality to these games that he's, you know, when you drive, you're going to get hit. You know, like I think if a couple of those layups went in, you probably, you know, you feel differently. So, but just play. He's been in a lot of situations. You know, don't hesitate. You're open, shoot. You know, all his teammates believe in him. We all believe in him. Just you're open, shoot the ball.
How do you decide how and when to tinker with the game plan? Like within a series, like Harden beat you on game one, but I mean, there were a lot of difficult shots. Like when do you decide to tinker?
When you're in a playoff series, you know, you got to decide. When you're going against great players and a great team, you know, the things that you're going to lock into, and anytime you shift and put two into something, or you commit to one area, you're going to be vulnerable in another. So you have to decide what you're going to be willing to live with. We know that, you know, how great they are, and you know, as I mentioned, you know, I thought we played good enough to win the game. Right? We got the lead with 6 minutes to go, and oftentimes these games come down to one or two possessions, and oftentimes it's a loose ball, it's an offensive rebound, it's a hustle play, you know, and that's the difference between winning and losing.
Chris Paul, Clint Capela, their X factor, all the great player that they have on their team. How do you slow down his running speed and what he did again?
You know, like he stars in his role, and that's what I think they've done a good job. Their team has with they're all embracing their roles, you know, and it's not an easy thing to do because for some guys they're sacrificing shots, some guys are sacrificing minutes. You know, Capela, you know, his role is to set screens, run the floor, play defense, and he embraces it. You know, you look at where he was, you know, when he first came into the league to where he is now. He's gotten a lot better. And, you know, my understanding, he's a great worker, and it's reflected in his improvement.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.